Hello everyone, my name is Nehru Shakir. I am PhD scholar in Faculty of Computer Science and Information Technology, UNIMATS. It's my pleasure to be part of South International Conference on Information Technology in Asia 2021. The paper on which I am going to present, the title of the paper is Comprehensive Study on DNA-based Chemistry Using Deep Learning in Healthcare. So these are the agendas on which I am going to talk about today. First of all, I'll discuss the introduction of the paper, what related works have been done in this particular field. There is an overview of deep learning approaches. Till now, what future papers I have seen. What are my survey findings? As this is the survey-based paper, so whatever I have explored, I will discuss with you. And what are the recent trends, challenges, and future dimensions in this particular domain? And at the end, we conclude that what our work is being done, what are the basic on the findings, and on which area we can still work on. So starting with the introduction. This is the area where we are living. We are living in the cyber world. So in this era, we say that our digital world is fully occupied with cyber systems. When we say about cyber, it means we are talking about something which is connected. So we are all connected to some kind of digital device. So physical systems, they are in direct contact with other systems, like they can be contacted with the humans or the physical environment on which they are connected. And that's the reason that they are able to communicate more efficiently and accurately. So cybersecurity is at most important here. Cybersecurity is not only important at the individual level, but also at the official domain or if you are part of any business sector. And cyberspace is always being troubled by the vulnerabilities. We are always having the fear of threat or attack if our security is at risk. So system has more vulnerabilities where it can be attacked. If the critical infrastructure is weak, then we can go for the catastrophic results too. So to deal with all these kind of problems, we have some categorized some kind of attacks, that which kind of attacks our cyber world can face. We can face denial of service attack, phishing attack can be there, attack by any kind of malware can be there, or distributed denial of service attack can be there. SQL injection attacks are very common nowadays. Cross scripting, where the code is being scripted, and due to this code, some kind of malicious activity is being performed. Attacks from passwords are everyone is familiar, and they are too much common that our passwords, our text has been attacked. Ransomware attacks are there, social engineering attacks are there, and man-in-the-middle attack. So as a result of all these attacks, our security is at risk. So we need some kind of system where these attacks can be mitigated and can be cured by some kind of security mechanism, which should be stronger enough that where our confidentiality should not be at risk. So going beyond the introduction, that how this survey I have done, that first of all, I've selected Scopus document search tool for this particular survey. I used the initial keyword of DNA-based query scheme, and based on this query, I minimized my search domain for the time era of 2017 to 2021. Then after that, I got some variety of plenty of articles. So for those articles, I choose some kind of rephrase research scheme where I put the rephrase of business security, the combination of deep learning, then the combination of healthcare, and then with a different kind of initial list of articles which are okay, I defined different kind of research criteria. Like I saw that what are the research articles which are, what are the result outcomes of that, are they proposing a new solution or they're proposing any kind of survey result? Are they like technical articles? Are they written in English language? So with these different kind of domains, I define this as my research criteria. That I search the field, I apply filters, I use the search engine of Scopus. Then I download the articles, I apply the initial list, then I apply the different kind of criteria for selection of paper, and I go to final list. So this is my research methodology on which I have worked. If I go for the related works which are already done in this domain, so there are different kind of works which are already working with DNA. Like one of the articles at Ramani in 2020 stated that DNA acts as a key to open the law when it is provided with a particular sequence which is matching with a particular field when it is opening the law of the information. Similarly, hiding confidential information to DNA over many advantages like fast computation, less consumption of power, high security. Similarly, this can be used for cryptography, steganography, hiding of the image, one-to-one transmission, and it would deliver confidentiality, authorization, authentication, and integrity of data, which is a basic need as the network user. Similarly, one more article that has proposed a new scheme that work on biometric security mechanisms. So when we are using this, deep learning plays a promising role. Deep learning, some articles have mixed deep learning with the GNA also. That's really encoding in combination of deep learning algorithms that we use to secure different kind of denial of service attacks, distributed denial of service attacks, past attacks where the security of our data can be made more confidential. In some of the recent articles, DNA computing is used to generate 1024-bit key long so that its security is made more stronger. It should not be compromised. So combination is powerfully complex to encounter any kind of security attack. Either we are dealing with a cloud computing environment, therefore it is making it rigidly secure, highly secure, so that security should not be broken. So now if we come to the overview of deep learning approaches, here as the result of our survey, we have come up with some articles where deep learning is being discussed. So based on that, we have taken different kinds of deep learning approaches and we have summarized what these deep learning approaches basically do. So artificial neural network is like leading the among all. That here the neural network that is based on structured data under the different principles of regression and classification are used, and based on that, the different kind of supervised and unsupervised learning is performed. Similarly, conventional neural networks are there, where this basically works on image data, where the input is passed the various conventional layers to get the output. Recurrent neural networks are there. In this mode, the input of data is dealing with multiple recurrent layers, where each layer takes the output of the previous layer as the input. That's why the name recurrent is being used. Autoencoder, that basically it is the unsupervised neural network that works on the role of getting the output as similar as possible to input by the capturing the input most similar features. Similarly, we have deep neural network, then we have BBM, we have LSTM, where it combines the extra functionality by the different kind of short-term and long-term memory capabilities. So in this neural network, we are going to get the different kind of gates. These gates are working, and as a result of this gate, we are getting the final output. So here, then we come with our survey finding. We have disclosed some kind of deep learning approaches, some kind of the basic introduction of DNA. Now, in our survey, we have chosen the articles, and in these articles, I have selected most authenticate articles, and in the year of 2020, basically 2020. In these articles, I have disclosed that here these deep learning approaches have served the healthcare, and in which particular domain they have served. Like the first one, where the PNN is used. This is by the T. Rahman and al. This was in 2020, and here this article has basically used this deep learning approach to diagnose TB, which is the infected lung disease. Similarly, in our another article, which is again in the 2020, this DLS is used to diagnose the different diseases of the skin. Another article, it is using artificial intelligence and deep learning models where we have AM, ELMM, RNN, LSTM, and GAN, and these are using COVID-19 diagnosis and treatment, which is a hot topic for research nowadays. Similarly, Systematic study is used for detection of hallucinatory diseases. Another research article, NMLDL and PCA, the principal component analysis is used along with set partitioning in hierarchical trees and single value decomposition in the diagnosis of the heart diseases. Then recalibration module of deep learning is used for the diagnosis of celiac diseases. Deep learning algorithm to evaluate results using CT scan of the chest X-rays are used, and this is used for detection of the COVID-19 pneumonia. Deep learning approach is used in the discrimination between the pulmonary disease and the COVID-19, like whether the person is suffering from the COVID-19 or the person is suffering from the regular pulmonary disease by using deep learning approach. And this is done by the Luca Vermees in 2020. After that, we have chosen some articles where the proper attacks are discussed. And these attacks are targeted with the DNS tool. These attacks are mitigated and handled by using DNA approach. So here, man in the middle, almost all attacks are being handled by the DNS tool. We have man in the middle attack, denial of service, distributed denial of service, phishing attack, SQL injection, cross-site scripting, ransomware, social engineering, malware, and attacks on password. And they are being cured by different proposed schemes of DNA encoding. Again, the search results. What is the time sequence of these research articles for the DNA security? That I have started my research from 2017. 2017, DNA encoding scheme was not properly used. When I explored the different search engines, this was not most properly used. Like we found less than 500 articles. Okay, here for choosing this article scheme, I have used Google Scholar, and for this Google Scholar, I have used the different keywords where DNA encoding scheme, DNA encoding, or DNA security is being used. And then again, for this initial list, I have seen that I have compromised my results basically on journal articles and in this particular domain. So what I saw that this was ruling in 2018, there the number was reaching more than 1,500 articles, research articles with proper research findings, and they were targeting DNA encoding to use different kind of handle different kind of attacks. And 2019, this was again popular. 2020, it was again more than 1,000, and in 2021, still like this is in the middle of the year, and the number is touching the 1,000. So this is the whole area of research from 2018, where DNA encoding scheme, DNA security scheme is used for the different kind of researches, and it is opening an era of researchers to work on it and come up with their findings. Then we have used some articles and what kind of DNA scheme they have proposed, how they have helped, how it has helped in providing some kind of research finding with their own results by using DNA tool. So again, we have Vincent Chen. This is my first article. In this study, they have integrated work of two different ideas. Firstly, DNA encoding, and secondly, they have used two-day Hannan sign maps. So which methodology they have used? They have used diffusion, permutation. These concepts are used for securing the data, and it is found that by mentioning these kind of security schemes, the declared data, which is they have introduced, that is pretty sure, that is pretty secure, and some area they have definitely as a future work to be explored that by export substitution, this can be more secure as compared to this scheme they have applied to have used the diffusion and permutation scheme. Then in Asha Jones, they have studied the different security techniques to achieve perfection in designing the model of stereography, cryptography, and watermark. And these things they have applied on image data by the help of compression and DNA encoding. So again, in this file, in this paper, they have used media types, which is including the stereographic technique to ensure the hidden information in the image data. Then Acrobat, These features are extracted and transformed based upon the images by using unique fingerprints, and then they are being evaluated on an increased recognition rate. Nayak et al., the study they conducted on the big data of ECC, and in this big data in the domain of healthcare, where patient data is being protected by using two mechanisms of cryptography. The first one is DNA-based and elliptic curve-based. These two schemes they have used, and they have protected the data of patients. Then, followed by that, in the next study of ORCHID, a study is being done on storing the data by using DNA-based cryptography. It discussed existing cryptography techniques such as EC cryptography and quantum cryptography as well, and assured that its effectiveness in existing approaches of data security. Still, this model is a new direction of research in today's time because it is having strong results of security. Then the next one, Casey Jitnet, in this study, encryption is applied to the images using DNA sequences. This kind of cryptography enhances the security level of digital images up to the particular mark. Encryption is applied in three channels, which is R, G, and B colors. After designing the proper algorithm, they have analyzed the results, and they have shown that it is strong enough to represent the scene to any kind of image data. Then in Masood et al., this research data is obtained from aerial images. And that data, because of the sensitive information contained in it, it is tried to make secure using cryptography. For this purpose, three methods are being implemented, and they are DNA-based encoding, MT and MT-DNA trios. These are again new areas of research nowadays. So if I combine that, what is the time sequence? What are the most important here for research for DNA encoding with deep learning approaches? Again, here 2018 was the most, 2017 the research was started, but it was not so widened. So in 2018, in this area, in DNA encoding deep learning, almost 2,500 research articles that I have explored. Again, these articles are used basically Google Scholar domain. But in Google Scholar, I have comprised my research in the particular journals, in the authentic journals. I've not included basically here papers which are not having proper results. So I have seen here that research papers which are having proper results, proper findings. So 2018 was booming. 2019 again, it was touching almost 2,000, and 2020, 2021, but still the research is going on. And if I go now and explore it again, I am sure that the number is about 1,500 for the year 2021 too. So the frequency of research articles with DNA encoding keyword, 2018 again it's touching almost to the year 2000. In 2018 it's touching almost what 20,000. 2019 again almost 200, and in 2021 till now almost 1,000 papers are being seen in the recent trends. So by this we can see that this is the observation which I have explored, that the DNA encoding keyword is highly used nowadays. The frequency of using DNA word is highly important, highly used. So this is an area of research for us to explore in our research findings. This is again deep learning here. These are our observations in recent times, that we have seen that recurrent neural network, RNN, they are most widely used in deep learning approaches with a percentage of 37%. Then we come up with the second one as CNN with 31% weightage, and so on. The remaining are almost the figure of tens, 13%, 29%, 4%, 10%, 3%, the remaining people approaches are used. So N and CNN network, they are most widely used in deep learning approaches. if I see that which kind of attacks were mainly handled by the DNS team. So here, the major attack which is being discussed is malware attack. Malware attacks are targeted by using DNS when we come in with ransomware, SQL injection, person injection, attacks on passwords, and so on. But on it, the top one is the malware. So the challenges are being faced. So if we go for the DNN coding scheme, the challenges are being faced. DNN coding scheme is more implemented on image-based as compared to textual data. So this opens as a challenge for us that if we have not tried it with some kind of other security schemes where this data is not explored by document data. Then cloud computing environment is full of cyber hazards and threats where the significance of data security is of utmost importance. So hence DNA-based security cloud should be designed. We need some kind of cloud with DNA-based security scheme where individuals should access this data after ensuring the security measures which are being done at the cloud security environment. Similarly, although DNA is actively integrated with deep learning approaches, but still we found that DNN and LSTM, they are not being experimented so far as compared to other approaches which are being widely used. So this offers as a challenge for us where this scheme can be more explored. DNA is used to handle denial service attack the most. So handling other attacks where it has not been experimented so fluently, this leads a challenge for researchers to contribute with their own dimension when they're finding. And most of the research studies have been designed and integrated through the algorithm of DNA in combination with other methods. So similarly, mixing the computational logic, automata, deep learning, and DNA. This like we are opening as a challenge for combination of these four different domains. This can be the interesting participation towards setting up the upgraded algorithms in computing environment. So this is as a open challenge for all the researchers where the work can be done. So if we summarize with the future trends, so in the time of pandemic, where we are experiencing and we are having circumstances which are based on COVID-19, the whole world is experiencing all circumstances which we have with COVID. So DNA can be used as a security method to make health data confidential. This can be applied by data collected from impacted patients, implementing security measures on it, and then making it available for the concerned people to work on that data and to make results from that data to deal with it. Again, deep learning can also play its role to train the machine with DNA secure data and respond as per the desired results. Deep learning can be a feature of e-learning also. DNA can act as a backbone to make data secure. If we just consider the education industry, DNA encoding data will protect confidential data like students' marks, student grades, the private credentials, authentication methods, question banks, question papers. All these can be protected. And if we combine it with deep learning, where we are having concept of virtual teacher, so deep learning can act as a supervised learning, where this can act as a virtual teacher, and DNA can store that scheme where the e-learning will become the secure environment of teaching mechanism in the future world. Similarly, DNA encoding should be linked with deep learning to ensure the security, and this can enhance the security of financial transactions. Big obstacles, big data obstacles, or if you have different obstacles dealing with the big data, where the researchers are coming up with a different kind of huge financial data, then we can secure the data and we can come up with different kind of security mechanisms where this deep learning and DNA can together secure our financial transactions. So, as a future direction, one more suggestion which is being proposed is that we have seen less work in the securing password with DNS tool. So this can be the open area for researchers where we can combine our DNA with the DNN and LSTM where we have seen the less results, to secure our passports. Similarly, here we have basically drawn the transitive relationship of three different attributes. This deep learning, DNA scheme, and health testing. For example, if you are saying that our function of A is healthcare, and this is actively working in the deep learning models. So assuming B as deep learning, if our if our deep learning is working with healthcare, DNA is working with healthcare. So as a transitive relationship, we want to explore that if uh, one healthcare domain is using deep learning is using DNA scheme. So as a transitive activity, we assume that DNA security scheme can be efficiently used to secure data of healthcare security. So based on this transitive relationship, we have finalized our basically the research topic, and we have done this research survey finding based on this particular research transitive relationship. So what we conclude, the DNA scheme is a new direction, like deep learning. Its combination is used in variety of domains, and these variety of domains, like where results have approved the effectiveness using the DNA scheme, it's getting the data from various cyber attacks. Deep learning has revolutionized the field of AI. The hidden layers are working in DNA encoding is initiating a new era where the study is progressing and providing effectiveness. Also, DNA scheme took its peak of research in 2018. So, in the recent year 2021, most of the DNA work is absorbed with RNN, and we assume that more work will be explored in the rest part of the year. Similarly, we conclude that DNA encoding upgrades the security screen in integration with the random domains like including the healthcare. Undoubtedly, it will remain the mandatory area of research for now and hereafter. So followed by it, this we come up with an abstract of our paper where we have basically said that it's how deep learning is effectively used, how deep learning can impact DNA encoding, how DNA encoding scheme can be used in healthcare domain, and how these three different domains can work together. These are the references on which we have help our presentation. Thank you so much for having me and for listening me. Have a good day. Assalamu alaikum.